Hello. Hi everyone. Let's let Instagram come on, do its thing. And we're going to jump into today. Very excited. Hi Paige. If you guys can hear me, can you just confirm? I've got this mic on and I just want to make sure that it's picking up. So can you just confirm in the comment section here? Hello, everyone. Hi. Can you confirm that you can hear me? If not, I'll just take it off. Let's see. All right. I'm going to wait on that. I just want to make sure. Oh, okay. Anne Marie says yes. Okay. Wonderful. Perfect. Cool. We are good then. I'm so glad y'all are here. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. It's 11 o'clock my time. So maybe this is a good time. Hope y'all are doing well, having a great day. So today I'm excited. I have another client live I'm bringing to you guys. Just like a chat with one of our clients that actually just ended with us, which I'm a little bit sad about. She is somebody that has, she's been with us for a while now. And when you have, like I had a post that came out just today talking about our different types of client, programs that we have and different ways to come in and work with us. And the one-on-one people, that's just like a different, let's see, Beatrice, let me see if I can get you invited. Let's see, that should do it, B. Let's see if that works for you. I've invited you, so then you should be able to accept that there. Anyway, so I was just talking about like whenever all of our programs are really good, and it just depends. One isn't necessarily better than the other. It's just kind of they're just different, and they're for different types of people, different types of what you want, what you don't want, different things like that. And so the relationships that come out of us, our one-on-one like programs and girls, is really special. I just love it because we do get to work together for a longer extended period of time, and we're really talking with these girls pretty consistently. So it's just one of those things that let's see, one of those things that is special whenever, let's see, B, I invited you again. It told me you're unable to join. I don't know why. Whenever we get to bring somebody on here, it's always neat. And Beatrice, I think, is just a perfect client to be able to bring on because she has a wealth of information. She's just wonderful. I think that's going to be a great time for us to learn from her. Let's see if we're working here. All right, Beatrice, let's see. It showed me. I'm going to invite you one. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's see if this will do it. Let's see if this gets us in. There we go. Hey,
okay.
Can you hear me? Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Let's see. All right. See if we can get your sound. You look pretty.
Thanks.
You're
Can
welcome.
you hear me?
No, I can't hear you yet.
Okay. I got my here. Let me.
You're good. You just figure it out. I'll keep on talking. Let's see. It's not the little thing on your phone, right? The side of your phone there?
Yep. Got that.
There's a little microphone at the bottom of mine that if I click it, it like mutes me.
Yep.
Could be yours.
Mine's open.
No big deal. We're always having, oh, Cami says I can hear both of you. Oh, you know what? It could be my mic. Okay, give me a second. Okay, say something.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep, it wasn't you, it was me. Okay, guys, I removed the mic. You might hear me a little bit different now, which is fine. That's not a big deal. Perfect. Cami came through. You helped me. Thank you, girl. Okay. It's been a little bit since we've done all these. Okay, how are you?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I'm on my phone. I was trying to get you on my computer, so I guess that, but anyway.
You're good. I'm happy you're here. Thank you so much. So, okay, tell us a little bit about you. Give us like background, like family, like who are you? I want you to brag because you're a big deal. So go.
Time do we have now? In a nutshell, I've been married for 20 years to my best friend. I've got 2 children. They're both turned teenagers in February. So a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old girl. I am an educator. I am going for my doctorate. So that seems to be my right now is school and that kind of thing. I've done many different things. Yes, just a mom, a wife, and a student, an educator, a professor, all those little things. So kind of me in a nutshell. I'm 43. I don't know if my age difference or not, if it cares.
Yeah.
But that's my background, and I live in South Carolina. So that's, I guess, the region I've been in for the almost 20 years or so.
Okay. Yeah. So like you're busy.
Yeah, very busy.
You are.
Yes, I have a very busy life. Yeah, children in sports. If anybody, has that, then yes. It's like they seem to run your social calendar. So
yes.
Yes.
And that's currently where we're at with the social calendar with sports. Is like I have to make sure that I'm getting it all right. I'm like, okay, because every night we have multiple, not every night, but you know what I mean. So but your kids are older now, so yeah, you know how it works.
I've gotten to that point. I know your kids are young, but I'm waiting for that one more year where my son can drive and can help me out. So I'm not chauffeur.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you're still doing all that. Yes. For sure. Okay, well, thank you so much. So we know you're busy, you're a mama, you're like working, you're doing all of the things. So take us back. I'm just going to start here with a question for you. Take us back a little bit to just like where you were at before you kind of reached out and joined the program. What were you doing? Where do you feel like maybe if you can kind of put your brain, just back there, like struggling wise, just where do you feel like you needed some help with? Thanks.
Well, okay. Well, I am in my background educationally and mentally in that sense is biomedical science. So I do know a lot about how things work. Videos and the talks from you and from Katie that we see on macromolecules and all that kind of stuff. So, my background is knowledge, but I broke my first bone when I guess that was way back in 2020, I think. I broke my left foot, and I've never broken and that kind of threw off my game. I had just started back into running and being fit. I'm 5'1", so there's not when you don't have the weight to go this way, it goes this way.
Yeah.
If you're not healthier or if you're not trying. But I basically broke my foot, and it took the wind out of me in the sense of I didn't know how to get back into shape.
Yeah.
I understood the concept, but I wrapped my arms around it. Basically, I needed someone to hold my hand and walk me through the process and say, do this, do this, do this, and then work out. Just follow these steps. And I had looked at different, programs and so forth. And I came across yours. Probably, I'm sure we've all done this before, 2:30 in the morning and you're up scrolling.
Yeah.
And up your little face, and your info. And I typed in, sure, I'll, have a meeting, etc. Yeah. And oh, no, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Sorry. Watches. But anyway, And so I just came across it, and I looked at a few others because I was searching for some help. And so I think that's what helped me do the jump to join your program, was that I was actually searching for help. And I knew I needed it. So, so that's what kind of, when I came across yours, it was personal. It was, you know, not necessarily that I cared whether you were geared towards ladies or not. I know it can be different than women, but, you know, just that camaraderie of, you know, female companionship in that sense, you know, even though it's virtual, was nice to have. So,
Yeah.
and that's kind of how I came across you.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the you know, women like having just that sense of community, being able to talk to a woman. To me, it makes a difference. I think that in our brains we just relate to things differently, and we can kind of spill it out a little bit differently too. So I'm glad you said that. So okay, so here's the question then. You said you were researching and kind of looking at other options, which is good. I mean, that's what I do whenever I'm in search of something that I know I need. So before that, though, you were at this place to where, and you just said it so well, as like it's you have the head knowledge of you're familiar with these things, but I think that everyday like application
Yeah.
is it's where it can very easily fall if you're needing and having to think of every single thing on top of all of everything else you're thinking of every single day.
Right. Right. Exactly. I mean, it's, you know, preparing a schedule, you know, I mean, your printouts, I printed, you know, I got all your little books over here. I've turned you into a, you know, my own little BZH library.
Yeah.
I'm printing everything.
Yes.
So, you know, so I can check things off, the grocery list, that just, you know, just those little things. Cause, you know, researching recipes is hard sometimes, you know, when you're busy and, you know, trying to find something that's, you know, that's different for your family. Cause my family's as well, you know, I mean, cause I, you know, 4 different meals.
Yes.
Myself out and cook for my family in a different manner. What's made is made, and
Mm-hmm.
they've all enjoyed it. But it was, yeah, it was very, I'm a checklist person, and so that helpful to do it in that manner, because that's, I didn't have time to make the checklist, you know. I was just way too busy to focus on, you know, the I guess the nitty gritty details.
Yeah.
So you did it for me.
Yeah. Well, and that's the way my brain works too. You know, like I have my planner, I have my checklist for my day to day. You see my like that's the way that I just have to have it presented that way. And I think, you know, whenever we are busy and we're doing all these things, we don't have that time, and it's so much easier. And then I can get it in my brain and it not feel like it's this crazy thing to do. Because when you actually see it on a checklist, you're like, okay, well, maybe it's not as many things as it actually like feels like. And then you are so good. You have always been so good about like, you follow the checklist, right? You know, like, and then when you do that, it takes a little bit of that. I mean, we're women and obviously we're human beings, so we're not taking the emotion out of everything. But sometimes when you can put things on a checklist and just say, this is for lunch. This is what I'm running today. And then literally, I talked about that on my stories earlier. And then literally it's like, it's a run. I'm going to go do it. And then I'm checking it off and I'm done. It just helps our minds and our brains whenever we are so busy doing the things to just get it done. And that's when that consistency compounds and we just start having that become like your daily habits. Like it just becomes a part of you. And you have always been somebody like you're on the calls, you ask questions, like you give me, you know, your updates, which are so good. Like you stay with it. Like those things help you, I have seen, to stay plugged in also, and it not be something that maybe is too terribly overwhelming. Now, sometimes, you know, you'll send me the updates and you're like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm here. I'm still here. Maybe I didn't, you know, like do all of this week, but like, I'm still here. I'm still doing it. Like, and that's what we need is like, but with you, it's just, you always take the initiative and like, but I think it's because at the very beginning, like you just said, you said, I knew that I needed that implementation help. And I think that sets the precedence for your success through the whole thing.
Right. I agree. I have kind of, you know, like you said, I am at the end of the program.
Yeah.
You know, I guess your beginner and then your VIP, et cetera. And and it was it was hard I'd never like had to type in my food, you know, I've never had to, you know, do that kind of checklist. Cause I too, you know, I've got more than this one time. I've got 3 here. And, you know, and none of them say BZH right now. So I had to add that to the list. So at the very beginning, if anybody is listening or watches later that is a beginner, take it one step at a time. If you don't get the first week cut or whatever, or you forgot something, you know, I mean, it was a learning process in itself, joining the program.
Yes.
And you got to give yourself grace in that sense, you know, because at first it was, oh my gosh, I forgot to load my stuff. That's not a big deal, you know, as long watching what you're doing, and you know, now I can go to the grocery, need the grocery with me, because I kind of know exactly what's in all the smoothies. You know, I know exactly what I want to make for dinner. I know what I need to purchase so I can have leftover. And so, you know, having been in it for a while, you know, it was tough to get them running, you know, an old car.
Yeah.
But once I got into it, I really did see a difference. And then of course things in different, you know, moments in life, you know, like this is your world and you do this, and, you know, having to throw this into mine, there have been times where, you know, I mean, stress for school and other activities and other family events and so forth happened. And so kind of, you know, I mean, but that's life, right? So you take the good with the bad, and you give yourself grace, and you know that, you know, if, you know, you have to if you do something wrong, or you feel done something wrong, like eat something that you're not supposed to or whatever, you know, sometimes your body's craving that, and sometimes, you know, you just, you're not, I guess you're not ruining everything.
Yeah.
It's just if you start doing that on a consistent basis.
Yes.
You know, and so, you know, having, you know, going out with your girlfriend and, you know, eating half of a cinnamon roll or something, you know, is not, you know, kill your entire program.
Yes.
And that's what that I had to give myself grace with, in the sense of, you know, I mean, I'm changing my lifestyle. I'm not on a 12-week diet or on a 3 or 4 month diet. And having gone through each phase, I've seen different, the burn phase is different than the sculpt phase, which is different from the maintenance phase. Yeah. And now that you've given me the basics, now I get to repeat those. And in fact, my husband started doing the little exercises with me. And so we wait until the end of the day. And I love the little 10, 15 minutes, you know, I mean, like you said, you run, you check, you know, you're done.
Yeah.
And forth. And my husband actually told me, he said, when are you doing that? You know, when do we start over? And I was like, what? And he's like, I'm feeling pudgy. We to start over.
Let's go back into that.
Right.
That's so good.
So, I mean,
heck yeah.
That, you know, even though, I mean, I'm always going to have you on Instagram I'm sure to reach out, hopefully.
Yes.
And stuff, and to see all the stuff that you have on there. But you have provided a program that I get to repeat and repeat and repeat, you know, and so forth, which is nice, because now I know that when I get to, I don't care what the scale looks like anymore. Like I think I read somebody, you had hosted or had somebody on that said, I have muscles, you know?
Yes.
And that is, I mean, I do, I've got, I mean, you can't see it, you know, but it's nice when you see that. It's nice when, you know, other people see it. It's nice when your spouse, you know, compliments you. And I know that I'm doing something that's healthy for myself and also for my family, especially when like, okay, we need to step up this BCH again. He needs to get back into it, is basically what he was trying.
So, coach, you're coach.
I'll just add that to my to-do list here. Thank you.
Put it on the calendar. That's so good. You said it so well. And, that's kind of, I did make a post this morning about just some of the differences and the different things that we do offer. And we do different types of, kind of like sprints and challenges throughout. But like what you've gone through, the one-on-one and like being able to go through the VIP and take you through those 3 phases, it is truly from the get-go, we get you where you want to be. We're there for a goal, and we're going to get at it. But throughout all of it, we do have lifestyle in mind, so that when you finish, you're able to say what you're saying now is, I can go and cycle through these. That's the true change, is when you do get to a place where you realize, hey, like it's not a 4-week sprint, a 6-week, a 12-week like diet. Let me just eat this and be miserable on this point in time. And then what do we do after? There's phases and there's a time and a season for everything. But like you've seen, if we don't cycle through those seasons, then it's not as good as it could be at the end. Because at the end of this, like where you're at now, you're saying, yeah, I get that life, life comes, life goes. We're able to put more effort in here than maybe at this point, because this is going on and these are circumstances I can't do anything about. But like having, being someone, and that's just you can look at those things and say, hey, there's a time and a place for this. I'm going to do what I can with what I have now. Here's what I can do today. So let me do it. And then we'll move on tomorrow. And that just comes with you coming in, and that's just who you are. But then us being able to pair with you and like know that this is lifestyle. Like that's the goal, is lifestyle. And that's a big deal. And I love the fact that your husband's on it. Did you say at one point in the program, I feel like you had said that did he lose weight?
He did. He lost 14. We were going to go on a cruise last October. He lost, no, I lost 14 pounds. And he lost 27 pounds. He's 5, so he's a big dude to start with. Lost 27 pounds before we cruised last October. And I mean, he wasn't at his goal, or anything like that. I mean, and we all, have our insecurities, even when we do hit that, I mean, you still wear the shawl, the shawl or whatever, until you do get that, that gut confidence of, because it's not just that, but he lost weight. We both lost weight. We both looked good. We both felt good, but it's, your program is also mental as well. It's not just physical and the food and that kind of thing. It's a mindset. You have to be, regardless of what you look like right now, be happy that you're here. I mean, be happy with who you are. Know that you are making decisions. Your health is your life. And if you have that kind of mind in your head that, being healthy is, something that you want, and you're striving for it, just be happy with each and every step, whether it's 1 pound or whatever. And I was an under eater. I don't know how many you get, but I was very much an under eater. And so when I started your program, I actually gained weight.
Yes.
And what is, this was not what I signed up for.
Wait, hold on.
But it's that whole, like I said, the mindset of understanding the numbers. And I can geek out on that, so I won't, because I know that's not what you want.
You can. Yeah.
So girls, go look at the videos that she posts. But the mindset of the metabolism and understanding that. Yeah. And kind of gone through a little season in the last couple months, unfortunately, where I've kind of fell back into the not eating as much. And I know I felt the difference, and then, I've tweaked it back. Yeah. And you do. I mean, once you're, because it's kind of like if you compared, health and sickness, when you're healthy and you feel great, regardless, how your weight or your measurements and all that kind of stuff, what you feel like. And then, when you flip it, you with your Hashimoto's and stuff like that, when your tummy is starting to gurgle and you're like, oh, I should not have eaten that, or oh, I shouldn't have done that. And my, I don't have that, but we do, you know, it, I guess, gut issues in my family. And my daughter has started to show symptoms at 13.
Mm-hmm.
So I eat, and then I'm hoping to kind of, you know, the colon cancer has been in my family many generations, and I'm hoping to kind of break that family curse of, you know, if I can, you know, get my gut healthy,
Yeah.
you know, then you know, future generations of, you know, my lineage, as far as it may go, will
Yeah.
understand, and, you know, and it'll help them. So
absolutely. And that's pretty awesome there too. I mean, yeah, and just being able to show your kids, no matter what ages, like, hey, like, here's what we can do. You know, we hit on that a little bit. Is like, I mean, for me, for my kids, you know, kind of the way that I talk to them about it, and my kids don't eat perfect or anything, they're kids, but like sharing that information with them helps them. They can transfer that over into, oh yeah, this is why I have to do this, so I can go run and I can go feel good. And like you're saying, being able to teach your kids those things is so important, and then see that change there also. And the mindset aspect it's truly my favorite part of being able to like teach about things, because, you know, I'm a teacher at heart, and those are the things that I feel like are some things you just have to like learn and experience as, you know, you hear someone saying them. And so sometimes we have to, it's just so neat to be able to take you through, okay, we're looking at this. This could be why, here's metabolism. If you're coming in, and we really do have a lot of women that come in that don't eat enough. And it's, you know, sometimes it's been like that for years. Sometimes it's just been a few months, but like really being able to understand and learn, okay, well, here's why, if that's happening, we're not seeing what we want to see, but internalizing that and then trusting, okay, now let me eat more. I'm going to do what Brittany says. Like you said, the body has to get used to it, you know, and we got to get it to a healthy place, which goes back to that mind, or the lifestyle factor. We're not in it just to cut calories to 800 calories and see massive weight drops. Yeah, I mean, it's a weight drop, but how long is that going to be sustainable? How long is the body going to stay that way before it gets mad at you and goes the opposite way?
right,
You know?
right,
right. And then how is your quality of life as you're doing that? Because you're probably going to end up getting hangry, and it's going to cause fights, and then you're going to get mad because you're craving things, and then you might go off the cliff. Like, it's just, you know, you can do it in a way that like you're growing your mindset and you're learning how to do this in a healthy way that's not going to put you at a bad place a year from now. Because we do have clients that come in like that. You know, they'll have done something like that or done it themselves, eating super low calories for a long time. But like I talk about, your metabolism leaves those footprints. So learning like, okay, if I do this now, that's what's going to happen. Like you just said, the last couple of months, you know, you find yourself sometimes going back to those things. But when you have the knowledge to get back and say, okay, but if I do this, this is what's going to happen. Here's why I don't need to do it. You pull yourself out and you're good to go.
Right. And do a shout out to Carrie. I think she and I joined about the same time, and she posted one time that, you know, she wasn't hungry, but, you know, I think we started our 12 weeks about the same time. And she's like, I don't want to eat this, you know, and that was the hardest thing for me, is like, I felt bloated because I was an undereater, but they made a comment that said, this food is my fuel and it's going to make me feel better and help me. And for some reason, I mean, I'm probably adding my literary, you know, twang to it, because I don't know her exact words, but that was the gist of what she said. It was very short of like, you know, I don't want to eat, but I'm going to. Mm-hmm. And she, you know, whether she wanted to or not, she did. She's like, I'm just going to check off the box. I'm going to follow the program. And that kind of was a light bulb for me. Because there are so many times I'm like, I can't eat another bite. If I eat another, then it's all going to come up, and then, you know, it was just wasted. You know, I mean, I just, when you starting out, it felt like a lot of food. Yeah. But then you have to learn to space yourself. I think at one meeting too, or one video, someone asked you like, what was your schedule? And you mentioned about how early you get up. Well, not everybody can get up
Yeah.
at 5 a.m. And have a functional day.
Mm-hmm.
Have to find that balance of where you can do that. The meal prepping, you've got to squeeze that in. The snacks, when you started posting the types of snacks, I mean, we are, I don't get, we should all get, like royalties for the things that we say, right? But the chef cuts, the beef sticks, my love those. My children love,
Yeah.
and they've got the proteins, so the amino acids and the fat that they need for the growing brains. And they love those. And I put those in their lunch boxes, a lot. Of course we change things around, so they don't have boring stuff all the time in their lunch boxes. But the portable things, I've carried the mom forever. And when I got, didn't have to do the mom purse anymore for diapers and wipes and all that, then mom purse into, Snackville.
Yes.
So I've got all these healthy snacks that are perishable and water galore. I mean, my children, we went out, had to go out of town. The children, my son actually said, Mom, I can't wait to get home. I am so tired of Chick-fil-A. Like, I mean, and like, who in the world says they don't like Chick-fil-A?
That's great. Yeah.
But I mean, he's like, I can't wait to get home and have you cook for me, Mom. My tummy hurt. That he was drinking sodas, and he's not a big soda drinker, and he's like, I just need a big glass of water and a mommy meal.
Oh, how sweet.
I was like, well, baby love, I'll get you your mommy meal. Here's a bottle of water.
Let's go.
Right.
Pedal to the metal. Let's get home. Yes, that's so good. And it's just teaching them. So, I mean, for him to even, to like have that, like, hey, no, this is actually better, that's so good. That's so good. And those are the things, like the work you're doing there is it will billow over, and that will be, ingrained in them. And then it just helps them so much with, like you're talking about, just generational, with life, with not having to deal with certain things. So these are already ingrained habits in them. If we learn them or unlearn things, maybe
right.
that we just have in us, then our kids don't have to. They don't have to unlearn those things. And it's just so special and so wonderful. So that's fantastic. So you came in, we know you killed it. You're somebody, like I said, from the very beginning, from the get-go, that came in with the lifestyle glasses on, which is just the very best thing that I could ever ask for, because it's the amount of, and it's okay because it's just the way it is. But so often, people come in and it's, what can I do to lose 2 dress sizes by next Friday? What can you do for me? And while we see that change, and we see it, but we want to just do it in a way that really supports you, that makes you feel good, and that's healthy for you, like truly healthy for you. And there wasn't really any of that with you. We came in and we're understanding this is lifestyle. This is us learning and taking you through the phases, like we talked about. That first phase, we get it done. We give you, it is very, and it's funny, it just depends on when somebody comes in. Some people say, oh my gosh, I'm starving, this isn't enough food. And then other people come in and they say, oh my gosh, I can't eat it all. And that just shows you, we come in from so many different places for sure. But dialing those things in along the way, and really having the time to release the timeline and pressure on yourself is a big deal, because we put a lot of pressure on ourselves for that. For sure. So let's see, what else do we have? Is there anything else? We kind of just, I love it when this happens and we just get to talk, really results. I mean, you tell us a little bit about tangible results, what you've seen, where you're currently at right now, and kind of what your plan is. I'd like to hear this, like what your plan is for moving forward with yourself.
Well, my plan to move forward is kind of started, like I mentioned. Yep. My husband said, start over. And I feel like you know, we've had some family things that have, like I've said, taken us out of town and so forth. And so, you know, that's finishing up this weekend. And so actually we're kind of starting back over on Monday, this upcoming, and so
good.
just dive back into it, do the, you know, the walking and the steps is always, you know, when the kids are at practice, I always get my steps in then. Sometimes I don't always get as many as I need to, but at the same time, you know, I just feel like I know I've done more than I did the next day, or if I'm in front of the computer all the time, you know, just getting up and walking, you know, that kind of thing. But I guess for my next step is to kind of start over, to prep my freezer again. My freezer's been, so it's starting to get to nice weather again. So the fresh market's going to be opening it up again. So that's kind of nice. You know, like you said, your program and also life in itself has its different seasons, and you kind of have to go with the flow. And so before I broke my foot, I was actually running and preparing to do competitions again, because before I was going to BZH, I was doing bodybuilding competitions.
Yes, yes.
And I broke my foot. That totally, I mean, I went into depression land, you know, because I couldn't do anything, or I didn't.
Yeah.
And that I found you, and you gave me my confidence back. The programs gave me my confidence, knowing that, you know, these jeans might be right. It's okay, because I'm going to keep working at it. You know, I do some of your sit-up routines.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just put bed. Ladies, just lay in bed. Have a comfortable place to do some of those routines. I mean, on the floor with your dog in your face. I don't know why dogs put a dog.
I feel like you've posted so many pictures like that, or tagged me so many times. You're like, I can't do it.
I'm alive. Get off me. But, you know, bed, do my sit-ups, and, you know, just, I mean, that's my next step, is to really just continue it. I mean, I'll probably, you know, do measurements, not all the time, but, you know, just to make sure that I'm on the right path in that regard. I mean, different clothing and so forth as well. I tried dresses the other day, and I'm just like, this one actually fits pretty good still.
Yes.
Better. So, I mean, that's just the plan, is just to keep moving forward. Again, I want to, you know, to say, because we kind of got onto it. I mentioned that my daughter was having some, you know, the digestive issues, and the things that you have shared in your life of, you do cater to that. You do cater to people that are, you know, vegetarian or vegan and that kind of thing. I'm sure they get different paperwork than I have gotten in regards to, I'm sure you get your wonderful, you know, lemon chicken recipe, but at the same time, it's for those that,
it's all right. Not everyone can experience it.
But you do cater to that. You cater to, you know, a lighter gluten, you know, a lighter lactose. You know, there was a few times that some of your smoothies had certain ingredients, and I'm like, that did not flow well with me. And you throw it out, you know, and try it that way. And I love the quickness of some of the things that you have too. If even as busy as my life is, I'm not going to say it is still very, very busy, you do have to make the time, you know. I mean, like when you sign up for BZH, you know, it's like, dang it, you signed up, you know, change your life, change your family, you know. This is a positive thing, you know. So dive into it and do your best to etch out some time, prep those, you know, protein bars or ball, you know, the little tacky things, you know, prep those, cut your vegetables, do this, do that, get all that, and that's basically what I'm going to be doing, you know, in the next couple of weeks, of just replenishing my freezer with the smoothie bags and so forth. A lot easier just to throw everything, you know, a Ziploc bag, dump it in a blender, add the, you know, the soy milk or the coconut milk, whichever you prefer, zip it. And my husband and I both had breakfast. We go, you know, have a great work, you know, and off we, even the kids love them. So, you know, because they're like little milkshakes, the fruit one. I don't care who much. The green juice that you tell us in the very beginning, they call that my swamp. I love it. You know, I
call it
swamp juice. say it smells like the swamp. We live near wetlands, and they're like, it smells like the swamp, Mom. I don't understand that.
I'll pass on that.
Right. But it makes me healthy. Moving on. But really, that's just, I mean, I'm going to continue just doing what I'm doing. Maybe, maybe not this summer, because this is kind of the season where people are starting to prep, because there's a lot of competitions during the spring and the summertime. They kind of take the fall off, you know, for people, I guess the holidays, I don't know why, but so maybe next year I'll reach out to you and go, guess where I am now.
Oh, I hope we got to. You have to. That would be amazing.
But I'd like to get back into that. And the older you get, you do cater too. I feel like I'm older than you by a little, but there are different stages in life when you hit certain age brackets, and that has helped. You know, the premenopausal stage that I'm in has really helped my body feel young again. And I've appreciated that aspect of it, because I may look my age, you know, but I don't feel my age. And that's makes all the difference, you know, in regards to your self-confidence and feeling your clothes and just moving forward.
Yes. And I will say too, I mean, I agree. And with the kinds of foods that you eat, like, can make or break the way you feel. It's just, you know, with your creaky, you know, feeling kind of like achy joints and just that bloat alone. I mean, I know for me, I'm just like, when I feel bloated, I feel 10 pounds heavier, and it's just like, oh, it just brings me down personally, you know. But like eating, like you're talking about, just the fresh food that we have, like for our recipes and the way that we eat, paired with that movement, like that, just simply the walks, you know, just simply just moving and like putting those two together. I just feel like it just makes you feel so much younger. It keeps you young, you know. I feel like Terry has talked about that too, is just she feels better now than she did before, and not feeling that age, because it matters taking care of yourself, like with the food you eat versus, you know, eating something that's, let's say, like one of our smoothies, a smoothie that's got stuff loaded in it that's good for you, that's actually that's decreasing that inflammation and the bloat and, you know, all of those things, and adding the fiber and all of that. And we can have something else that's a package, you know, 100-calorie, sugar-free, same calories, but they're going to make you feel very different. And so the payoff it's just so different. And when you experience it, it just changes it. I can tell whenever, if I get off, you know, I'm like, okay, I need to go back to like more reset style stuff, because I just feel my best that way.
Right. And it also, as you age, you know, you almost turn back into a teenager. And I know that, I think it was more in between the burn phase, bolt phase. It was kind of that transition and that time frame. And of course, you know, the water consumption. I mean, my complexion, I've always been self-conscious about my complexion. I much on, except some lipstick. I mean, make the things that, you know, emphasize good things, and, you know, I mean, even just that has helped my complexion, you know, sense. And I've gotten compliments, you know, like, wow, you know, and I'm like, thank you. You know, so, and it's, you know, it's just health all around. And it's, I mean, not to repeat myself, you know, but this is something that you just can grab a hold of, and it's not a diet. I almost hate the word diet now, you know, because it's changing your mind, changing your thinking, changing the way you look at yourself, at food, at the way you move. You know, just, you know, you don't have, like, do competitions. I had a coach before, and she was a friend of mine, so she kind of did it, I think, out of the goodness of her heart, more than like this kind of coaching that you do. But she's very, very muscular, manly, and I was just like, I don't want to turn out like you. Is that okay? And you know, I did not, but I'm very, I guess, sculpted in the female fashion. Yeah. And that feels nice. it's nice to wear the, it's about to be tank top season,
Yeah.
and it's for something. And, whether you see it or someone else see it going, dang, that girl's got some biceps.
Yeah. And to feel feminine with it, like fit and feminine, like the way you want, and good, like feeling like you can get up and run. You can move, you can squat, you can drop it if you need to. Like, like you're not creaky and like rigid. Like, yes, and then you feel feminine. And that's important to me personally. You know my story. Like, that's just important to me because I've been on the other end a little bit. I mean, I don't know that other people would say that, but I say that. And the way we feel matters so much. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. And like your most recent photos that you sent are pretty dang good.
Well, thank you.
Actually, I wanted to ask, okay, so that green suit, is that, I was like, girl, was that your competition suit?
That was my prep competition suit. So gotten back into my prep. That is the most uncomfortable thing in the entire life. Sure, worthy only. Those things are uncomfortable things. The actual one that I wear on stage is a little teenier. But I know but the one thing that's cool about that if anybody ever decides to do that is it's not a sex symbol kind of, atmosphere. It truly is focusing in on muscle sculpture and all that, which is a sculpting phase aspect of your program. Like getting those, the glutes up, I've had, my assets have always been on the front side of my body. to say it politely. I've never worried about the backside because I'm hurt and no one really looked back there. But to have that and to know that I'm actually, like, wow, I didn't, you don't notice the things that are behind you sometimes, and whether you're spouse or you walk by a window or or mirror or you put on a pair of jeans and you're like, wow, I mean, from behind I can pass as college.
And it just feels good. It feels good to feel good, and but like you're right, because when you do the competition, to cut down, you want to have something there. That's muscle sculpt, like you just said, that's sculpting the glutes, the shoulders, like you want to have the legs, the quads, like all of it. And we just can't have those things if we're constantly trying to diet.
Right.
That's the biggest, if we're never feeding our body enough so it can make muscle.
Yep.
And it's just lack of just us really understanding the process and those three phases. But you get that and you've got that, which is just so awesome. And like, I'm so proud. I actually, that suit, I was like, dang, her honey looks good. I like it. It's so good. And I'm so grateful for you. I really am. Like clients like you that just come around. I just feel like I'm so grateful. I really am, because you take it, you do it, you learn it. It's not just, well, okay, here it is. But now, like, I joined, so like I should automatically just be skinny or I should automatically, there's work involved and there's a mindset, there's a journey involved. You're really going through and learning and like releasing, okay, no, that's why that doesn't work. I don't need to do that anymore. Let's trust, let's do this. Let's trust, let's do this. And I appreciate that, because it just, you see how it all does come together, and it can be more than just a diet and more than just, it can truly be that transformation from the inside out. Because that's what matters the most, is like us feeling good, feeling like we can take it now, use it again. Your family can use it. Like, that's massive. That's a big deal. So it's a big deal for me. So I think that's about it. I just appreciate you so much for coming on here, especially even after your program is done. You're the best. I don't know why we didn't get you on sooner. I was like, wait a second. I can't let her go. I have to have, she's got to come on. And you're the best. Of course you did.
Well, I've enjoyed it. You've given me a lot of information, and might not always be perfect, and I might have to, I'll have that Brittany, like, start over, or, all that. But I've enjoyed it. It's helped me get out of my funk, of, how I viewed food, how I viewed exercise, and what I need to do, and what I wasn't So it definitely opened my eyes, and so I've not quite a year, but I've been with you for a while.
I
so.
know, I know. It's always sad whenever I have like, you know, clients like you, those long-term people that are out, because you're just such a pillar. You really are. So you are. I appreciate it. I love it so much. So yeah, you got to keep in touch with me. I know you will. I know you will. But yes, if you decide, if you go back into doing the competition, like all of it, I want to know, I want to hear. So thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else that you wanted to say? Anything that we didn't cover before we go?
I can't think of anything. We pretty much did kind of go around the mulberry bush
Yeah.
times and figured it all.
We did it. All right. Girl. Well, thank you very much for taking time out of your day for joining us and coming on here. Love it. I appreciate you so much, and we will keep in touch. And I will talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks. Take care.
Bye, girl. See ya.